The MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Game Podcast Network is brought to you by Edge Boost. Bank account built for better. Sign up today. Edge Boost, bet with the code SGPN to get a $25 deposit bonus. And welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Game Podcast Network. It is currently Sunday afternoon, May 18th, around 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Hour early. There was a Game 7 going on. Wanted to get this show out of the way. No offense, but I do want to catch the second half of Game 7. Joined by Dylan Rockford once again here on Sunday. Dylan, how's it going with you? How's your Sunday going so far? You're still on mute, by the way. Didn't notice. Did you unmute yourself?
My bad. First time this season I did that, but I'm doing well. Allergies not that bad today. Sunday's doing good. I have a SpongeBob update for you.
Okay. I'm excited.
I'm on season 2.
Okay. How are you liking it so far?
Some episodes are funny, some are not. I could get why when we were younger this would have been funny.
Mm-hmm.
As a 29-year-old, I think it's stupid, but some of them are funny. I'm on episode 14th. I just finished 13, where Gary, the snail, right?
Mm-hmm.
He takes a bath. Now I am on Frankendoodle.
Okay.
Do you remember that one?
I mean, I remember Doodle Bob.
Yeah, Frankendoodle's like where, I don't know, it's like he's going back to the chum bucket where plankton and everything. I don't know.
I have to try to remember that one.
Yeah, it's season 2, but
I didn't tell you to watch the entire show. I just wanted to.
No, but I'm invested now. I'm invested.
Okay, wait. So, Frankendoodle is Doodle Bob. That's what I just said.
Yeah.
That's a classic. It's a classic episode. Okay. Yeah. All right, you're in for a good one.
All right, so.
But I didn't realize you were binge watch the whole thing. I just brought it up because of one reference I made.
No, I got DMs. I got DMs saying, "How haven't you seen SpongeBob?" And I felt personally attacked. I said, "Well, this is on Scott now. Now I have to go and watch it." So I'm entrenched.
Well, hopefully, once again, you're having more good episodes than bad episodes, but it's a classic from my childhood. So there you go. But Doodle Bob's is a classic episode, so you'll enjoy that one. But anyway, point is, of course, there is a basketball game going on. We're not going to talk about that. Instead, we got some baseball games going on. Do want to ask you, though, quickly about the weekend or just about the overall baseball card. Any takeaways? Anything you want to talk about?
No, Orioles still stink. I've been watching the Subway Series. That's been very good. We'll see what happens at the rubber game tonight. But I saw the Orioles. Thank God they sent down Kyle Gibson. He's atrocious. They fired their manager. I think that's been the biggest thing.
They cut him, by the way. He's a free agent.
Oh, they cut him.
They got rid of him. Yeah.
Good.
It's not good.
Michael Soroka.
I had the team total over yesterday. I was going to keep betting it over and over again. But Gibson, I can't do it anymore. He's going to end up in like Korea. I don't know where he's going to be, but
if that,
he was terrible.
I'll say this: I was definitely surprised. I mean, Baltimore is bad, but Michael Soroka, I think he's 0-12 in his last 12 starts. They've given him some run support today, so that's a good news for him.
Yeah, I mean, overall he pitched okay,
for
his own standards at least. But it's been a pretty rough season for Baltimore. They fired their manager. They still suck, so nothing really changed there. But either way, point is, should be a pretty fun, I'd say, remainder of the Sunday card, but time to move on into the Monday game. Before we get into any of those games, a reminder that we are brought to you by our promo code going on right now at the merch store, because we are having a great 20% off everything current sale on the merch store. So use the promo code DGENS at checkout for 20% off everything in the merch store. If you want to get yourself some MLB Gambling Podcast stuff, you can do so as well, because you can end up getting yourself a nice discount available for a limited time offer. Anyway, moving on to the first game on the card for Monday. Cubs taking on the Marlins. Marlins actually won a series against Tampa. Meanwhile, the Cubs are up 3-1 right now against the White Sox. White Sox are a fake team, so not surprised there. For the pitching matchup, though, you have Brown against Cabrera, which should be an interesting one, because I remember Cabrera had his start pushed back. I think he had fluid in his finger, so we'll see how he looks in this one. But for the actual matchup itself, the Cubs are minus 174. The Marlins are plus 146, and the over-under in this game is about 9. I'd say 9 flat. For the run line, you can get the Cubs minus 1.5 at around minus 110. So I'll ask you for this game. Brown has been better lately. Cabrera has been kind of a mess, but he's been trying to improve on his, I'd say, early season struggles. I'll ask you, though, what do you like? Because the Cubs offense we know is much better.
Yeah, I was able to get the opening line at 9.5. I took that under, but I only made the Cubs a minus 155 favorite here. But the Cubs, they've been good on the road, 13-9 straight up. And I think the bigger story is Ben Brown. He's been great on the road for the Cubs. 3-0 with a 159 ERA, just 3 runs given up in 17 innings. Cubs are undefeated in his 3 starts on the road this season as well. They've won pretty convincingly. They beat the Dodgers 16-0. They beat the Brewers, 10-0, and the A's 18-3. So they're one of the best offenses in the league. They're averaging around 5.58 runs per game on the road, batting 261, and they're about a top 5 offense, I would say, the Cubs. So I do like them, but going against Edward Cabrera, he still stinks. He's dealing with that finger issue that you mentioned. So I just don't think this is going to be a good spot for them. Maybe a team total over for the Cubs, but I think the total's a little high at 9.5. My total came out to 8.6.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, I might go with the Cubs run line in this game. I'm not going to reinvent it. The Cubs did well for me over the weekend. Not a shocking take. I just faded the White Sox the entire weekend. But the point is, Miami did win a series. I still don't think this team's very good. Also worth mentioning, Cabrera is I would say the worst pitcher in baseball at preventing stolen bases. And the Cubs run a ton. They might steal like 4 or 5 bases against them. It could get ugly. They stole 4, I think, yesterday against Burke. I could see a similar story in this game. So give me the Cubs. Don't mind stolen bases. It's going to be a pretty cheap number in general, but they're going to be running like crazy in this game. So give me the Cubs to get the job done, minus 1.5 in this one. Moving on to the next game, you have the Reds taking on the Pirates. You have Lodolo against Keller. Now, for this one, you have the Reds a minus 120. The Pirates are plus 105. For the over-under, I see it being set at 8 flat. Now, Keller this season has been, I'll say, up and down, but his record's horrible as he's 1-5. Lodolo's been fine, not, I'd say, as great recently, but still okay. 3-4, 3.42 ERA, but he has been, I'd say, a little bit more vulnerable lately, so keep that in mind. But we saw them waste another great outing by Skeens today, as he ended up giving up 1 run, and they lost 0. So there you go, classic Pirates performance there. I'm going with Cincinnati in this game, but I'll ask you what you like, as the Reds are starting to play a bit better, and I do think Pittsburgh offensively sucks. So give me the Reds money line.
Yeah, I like the Reds here on the money line, minus 130. Or minus 118, excuse me. I made him a minus 130 favorite. I think Nick Lodolo, excuse me, he's been great on the road this season. 144 ERA, just 5 runs given up in the 31 innings on the road. Batter's only hitting a $186 off him. I just think this is a great spot for him. Pirates, like you mentioned, they gave Paul Skeens another 0. So very tough. They have a bottom 5 offense. They're averaging just 2.75 runs per game. They've lost 7 of his last 8 starts. Offensively, you can't trust Pittsburgh, even at home, to give you any type of run support to get them. He's backed up by a bottom 10 bullpen as well. You just can't back him right now. And the Reds, they're starting to turn things around a little bit. Are they still winning right now?
I think did they win already? No, they're up 3-1 in the 8th inning.
3-1. So yeah, they're on their way to winning again. I think they've turned it around. So I think at this number, you got to back the Reds here on the road.
Yep, I agree. Moving on to the next game, you have the Mets against the Red Sox. Red Sox keep having really horrible pitching performances, but Devers homered, so that counts for something, I guess. But either way, point is for this game, you have Senga against Dobbins. For the actual money line, the Mets are minus 142. The Red Sox are plus 120. For the over-under, I see 9. So for this game, the Mets, we'll see how they do on Sunday Night Baseball. You could go for the Sunday Night Baseball fade if you want to. Then again, Boston's been really bad at pitching recently, and they're not very good to begin with, at least based on current form. I'll go with the Mets, probably first 5 minus half a run. But the problem is the Red Sox bullpen has been so bad that I don't want to avoid them in this game. So I guess I'm going Mets full game, minus 1.5. Because Senga I do like. He's been great this season. Does walk some guys, but still been great besides that. Dobbins is fine, but the bullpen's useless. So give me the Mets minus 1.5.
Yeah, for me... Now, like I said, I think you mentioned it. We do like to fade teams that play on Sunday Night Baseball, especially the ones who have to travel the next day. That's why I only made the Mets a minus 120 favorite here with Senga. You got to look at the walk prop, though. Senga's had command issues this past month. 2+ walks in 7 straight, and they've been early on in games. So maybe an alternate walk prop is probably going to be juiced to 2.5. But I'm also not Hunter Dobbins fan either. I haven't really liked what I've seen out of him in the month of May. And to be honest, the Red Sox, they haven't been playing the best baseball outside of that comeback against the Braves yesterday. It seems like every time I put a Red Sox game on, they wind up blowing it or getting walked off on. So they could have easily lost 5 straight games. Kind of like the under. I see 9s out there. I made my total 8.6. It's going to be a cold, windy night in Boston tomorrow. 13-mile-an-hour winds blowing in. And the Mets are one of the best under teams this season. I've just been blindly betting the unders in the Subway Series.
Yeah.
So Dobbins, he's only allowed more than 2 runs at home one time, and it finished 4-3. Senga, all 4 starts have he has yet to allow more than 2 runs. So I think we see another low-scoring game. Mets could win. I'm just going to stay away from this side. I think we see a low-scoring game with the weather as well.
Yeah, I do think it'll be a low-scoring game too, so I'll go with you on the under there. Moving on to the next game, you have the Astros against the Rays. Saw the Astros come back today, and I believe they ended up winning. I don't know if the game officially went final yet. They won 4-3, so they had a nice comeback win. As for their opponents in this one, the Rays are off of a series loss to the Marlins, did lose on Sunday, so we'll see how Tampa looks in this one. Not great at home, though, 11-17. The Astros, though, are 9-13 on the road. Problem is, we don't know who's actually pitching for Houston, but we have lines anyway. Pepiot and the Rays are minus 130. The Astros are plus 110. For the over-under, I see 9.5 juice to the under in this one. Give me Houston a plus money. I don't think Tampa's good. I think Tampa's pitching staff is okay. Pepiot's been fine, but I don't like their offense. I don't think they're a very talented, I'd say, lineup. And I do think with them laying this number, I'd actually have to have faith in them winning this game by scoring some runs. And I just don't think they're that good offensively. But Pepiot's 2-5 with a 3.93 ERA. So not much run support going in his favor. And they're not good at home. So I'll go with Houston money line at plus 110.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm on Houston as well. I think it's going to be Colton Gordon going for the Astros, if that is the matchup. But I only made the Rays a minus 125 favorite here at home. I started out in the beginning of the season very high on Pepiot, but he has not lived up to my expectations. Too inconsistent. And to be honest, the Rays don't give him any run support. So when he does pitch, I just don't trust him to win the game. Just 3.82 runs per game at home this year. And Astros they hit righties pretty well on the season. I think on the other side, I think Colton Gordon is okay. Only 1 start, and I didn't think it was terrible against the Royals. And I just think this is a good matchup for the Astros. Rays don't hit lefties well at all, and he's backed up by a top 5 bullpen. So even if he only goes 4 or 5 innings, I think the bullpen will be able to hold it down for them. So Astros at plus money, I think we got to take them.
Yeah, I think I agree, just based on the price alone. Moving on to the next game, you have the Orioles against the Brewers. Brewers are playing right now, but they're actually winning 4-2 into the 8th inning. Saw Churio robbed Royce Lewis earlier in the 8th innings to save the lead. So we'll see if they hold on at the end. Point is, though, for this matchup, the Brewers might win this game. We'll see. Baltimore has been really, really bad. They're about to get swept by the Nationals. Game is not over yet, but they got routed in pretty much almost every game. Besides that, though, the Orioles are right now 15-29, soon to be 15-30, dead last in division. For Milwaukee, 21-25. They have been really bad offensively, but we'll see if they can figure something out against the Orioles of all teams. For this one, though, you have Kramer against Priester. So 2 pitchers who are not very good. Priester was good to start the season, but I think we all knew that was definitely fool's gold. 1-2, 4.59 ERA. Kramer 3-5, 5.36 ERA. He's also allowed 10 home runs in 50 and a third innings, so he's really, I'd say, getting shelled more often than not. For the pricing, Milwaukee in this game is minus 116. For Baltimore, I see them being available at 8.5. I'm taking Milwaukee at home. I mean, I just don't want to back Baltimore. There's really no other cap to it besides this team sucks. They should be bigger dogs in most of these games. Baltimore fired their manager. They still suck. So give me the Brewers on the money line at minus 116.
That should be just a handicap. Just Baltimore sucks.
Yeah, pretty much.
This was pretty easy for me, especially at the price we're getting. My numbers made them a minus 145 favorite. Got to take the Brewers here, minus 116. Thank God they cut Kyle Gibson, by the way. He was terrible. Firing their manager really hasn't done anything. They still stink. They just got swept by the Nationals, 1-9 in their last 10. I mean, Quinn Priester and the Brewers, they're not nothing to write home about, but they are solid at home. They are pretty backable sometimes at home. 12-9 straight up for Milwaukee. And Dean Kramer, On the road, it's just a total fade. At home, he's okay, but the Orioles, they've lost his last 5 road starts. So I think the Orioles should continue to struggle. They're getting towards Colorado territory. Like, they're that bad. So Brewers might be potential lock right now.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, Priester might struggle, but so might Kramer. So if you want to go for the over and hope that Milwaukee's offense comes through, it's fine. But Milwaukee this season, I want to quickly see what their home and road splits are. They're 12-9 at home. If they don't blow the game in the 9th inning, then they'll be 13-9. So at least they're a pretty good home team. So I'll go with them in the spot. Before we move on to the remainder of the card, a reminder that we are brought to you by our sponsor, EdgeBoost, because they are the first ever bank account for bettors, ensuring that all gambling transactions are approved. They have no usage fees, no known imbalance, or cash rewards as well. 100% approval. For opening deposits, sign up today at edgeboost.bet with the promo code SGPN. And you could also get a great limited time offer. Deposit $25 in EdgeBoost match deposit. EdgeBoost.bet promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Onyx Fantasy because you can play their, of course, brand new game mode ladders, 1 to 500 times your entry. They're also going along for the NBA playoffs with their extender boost. Hop in game 1, and the longer the series goes, the bigger the bonus gets. And remind you can also sign up for your new account with the promo code MLB SGPN. Get a special pick and a first time deposit offer up to 1K bonus cash on fantasy promo code MLB SGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through the first couple games on the Monday card. Time to move on to the next game. Looking at the Guardians against the Twins. So the Twins right now are trailing in the 9th inning, but they were in the middle, or they still technically are, in the middle of a 13-game win streak. So I'll see how the game wraps up, but that streak might come to an end here on Sunday. For the Guardians, not a great series against the Reds, but the point is we'll see how they look in this series. But for this one, you have Allen against Ober. Now, for the pricing here, the Twins are about, trying to find the minus 142 or so on the money line. The over-under I see available at 7.5. Logan Allen so far this season has been fine. I think that's the word I'll use. 3.7 ERA. Not a big sample. Was good at last start, though, against the Brewers. 6 innings and no runs. But he has... let me just quickly see his home road splits here. So he's basically been the same pitcher, a little bit better on the road technically. But for this game, Ober's been solid lately. For the most part, we know Minnesota's pitching has been great for the last couple of weeks. Guardians can't really hit that well. Neither can Minnesota because you have Buxton and Correa both on concussion protocol at the moment. So I'm going to go with the under in this game. I think that you're going to see a low-scoring game. I'll probably go with Minnesota, but it is a little bit expensive for me when they're missing 2 of their best bats in the lineup. I'll go with the under instead. I see a low-scoring game.
Yeah, that was one of the other stories that I forgot to mention when you asked me. Twins probably the hottest team in baseball right now. What, they won 10 in a row or something like that? I'm actually going to be on the over. I couldn't come down on a side. I only made the Twins a minus 130 favorite. They are averaging 5.6 runs per game their last 5. And Logan Allen, he's, like you said, he's fine. He's okay. He's given up 2+ runs in 3 of his last 4 starts. And the Guardians have been better on the road offensively this season. 4.57 runs per game. I think 7.5 seems a little low. My total came out to 8.4. Bailey Ober has actually been pretty good. So that's what worries me. But not a game I'm probably going to bet. But if I did, I would actually take the over.
Yeah. Moving on to the next game here. At the matchup between, where do I want to go next? We'll go with the Mariners against the White Sox. Mariners are playing right now. Their game just started. For the opponent here with the White Sox, they are probably going to get swept by the Cubs. I believe they are down 4-1 right now in the 7th inning. Either way, though, point is for this game, you have what should be a pretty interesting matchup because, you're looking at both these teams, and one of them's awful. But the question is, do they ever have value to win a game, or are they just going to keep losing? But either way, for this game, Seattle's obviously the big favorite in this one. For the price, though, Seattle is about minus 200. I see 165 for the White Sox. I see Castillo against Martin. Same exact ERA, though, at 3.65. For the over-under in this game, I see the line being set at about 8. And for the actual run line in this game, I see the line being set at minus 1.5 for Seattle, at minus 125. I'll ask you, damn, the White Sox are horrible. Seattle, we know, has been solid this season, being 25-19. Martin, though's decent. So I'll ask what you like in this game.
Yeah, I only made the Mariners a minus 190 favorite. They're a little high here. I know they perform better on the road, but I'd rather back to total, if anything. I see 7.5s out there. It's a little chalky at minus 130. Even at 8s, my total came out to 8.4. I mean, the Mariners are averaging 5.4 runs per game, almost a run and a half better than at home. They're hitting 266 on the road. And Davis Martin, he isn't terrible, but he has given up 3+ runs and back-to-back home starts against lesser offenses, my ad. So I'd imagine the Mariners are, they're big favorites for a reason, but maybe look towards a team total over 4.5 for the Mariners. I think they could get over that. So I think that'd be a solid part. I just don't want any part of the White Sox right now. They just got swept by the Cubs. Castillo, he's been solid his past 4 starts. So I would attack either the full game over or maybe a team total over for Seattle.
Yeah, to be honest, I thought about going with the White Sox team total under in this game. Just
Yeah.
watching the last couple of games, this team really can hit. And their lineup is now kind of introducing younger guys. Elko's played a bit. I know he homered yesterday. The lineup, though, is really bad. And the fact is, you saw a bunch of wind in Wrigley, a lot of home run balls that probably shouldn't have been. The Cubs kept scoring. The White Sox didn't. So I think the White Sox offense is a lost cause. I don't mind Castillo shoving here. Castillo win might be an option if you think they get a lead in the first 5-6 innings or so. But I do think it's going to be a pretty fun game if you want to maybe consider sweating out an under somewhere. But I think you're looking at a spot where I just can't trust the White Sox to do anything offensively. So I guess I'm considering the under, because if they get shut out, I wouldn't be shocked, because Castillo, as you said, has been good lately. But watching that game yesterday, it's not fluky that the White Sox are bad. Like, this team really can hit. So I'll go with the under in this game, and I'll go with Castillo to get the win in that game. Moving on to the Tigers against the Cardinals. Tigers, I believe, just won. I think they just beat Toronto, if I'm not mistaken. For this game, though, you have the Cardinals, who are still playing right now. They're in a war against the Royals. We'll see how they look as the game goes on. You have Montero against Sonny Gray. Now, for this one, I have no lines in anything, so apologies there, but I don't have any actual pricing. So I don't know who's going to be favored. My guess would be St. Louis barely, because they're 15-6 at home, and Gray, his ERA is high at 4.5, but it's still better than Montero's, and he's 4-1. So I'm assuming it'll be a close line, maybe St. Louis slight favorite, but should be very close. So close to a pick 'em if I had to guess. What do you like in this game? Because both pitchers have been fine. Sonny Gray's had a bigger sample than Montero, and the Cardinals are good at home. So what do you like in this game?
Yeah, I guess Sonny Gray didn't look the best in his last start, but he has been much better at home this season. And usually doesn't really matter how bad he is or how many runs he gives up. The Cardinals usually get him run support to get the win. And I think at home is really where you want to back the Cardinals. They're on fire right now, 9-1 straight up in their last 10. They're hitting 288 at home, 4.8 runs per game as well. And Tigers are also a good team. Like you mentioned, they just won today against Toronto. They're playing well, I think 8-2 in their last 10. But I think it just came down to me not really trusting Montero. He's given up 3+ runs in his 3 of his last 5 starts. And to be honest, he really hasn't faced an offense like St. Louis right now. So I did no, like you said, no lines yet, but I made the Cardinals a -150 favorite. So anything up to a -150, I'm going to be on the Cardinals here at home.
I can guarantee it'll definitely not be -150 or higher. So you're probably going to end up betting the Cardinals in this game. So there you go. I mean, Detroit is right now, I believe, best record in the American League. So I doubt the Cardinals will be laying 150 in that game. Moving on to the next game, you have the Phillies against the Rockies. Phillies won 1-0. It ain't much, but it's honest work. A nice win against Skeens there. You have Sanchez going today against Freeland. Freeland 0-6, 6.15 ERA. Phillies -275. Rockies +225 for the run line. Phillies are -176. So it's going to be 2.5 or nothing. Or you go for the over-under at 10. Yeah, I'll go with the Phillies -2.5. I think Sanchez is good. I think he can keep the ball on the ground. The Rockies, we know, are bad everywhere, even in cores this year. They're 5-16. We'll see if they lose to Arizona, probably, if I had to guess today. But they might be 8-38. Nice win by the Phillies. You were against Skeens, who pitched well. You survived and advanced. But I do think that Sanchez can go well in cores. I'll go -2.5, honestly. I think the Rockies get buried. So give me the Phillies to cover the alternative run line.
Yeah, Philly's huge favorite, obviously, for a lot of reasons. I see 9.5s out there. I'll take the over. My total came out to 10.5, mostly because of how bad Kyle Freeland has been. He's a total fade right now for me. Offense for the Phillies, they're okay up until today. I'll give them a pass today. They were going against Paul Skeens, but outside of that, the offense has been pretty good. Now going up to elevation, I just think this is a bad news for the Rockies. The over actually is profitable now at course this year, 11-9 towards the over. So maybe full game over or team total over 5.5 for the Rockies, for the Phillies, excuse me. Yeah, no way they're scoring 6. So yeah, I'll take either the team total for the Phillies or the full game over.
Yeah, you mentioned the overs and cores have been good this season, not because of the hitting for
No.
Colorado. No. They've been giving up like 10-plus runs in a lot of these games, which definitely helps out
Like
the
you
totals,
said, it doesn't matter as long as it gets over.
Doesn't matter. So, yeah, I agree with you. I'll go with the over as well for that game, but Phillies team total over probably if I had to pick. Definitely different when you go from seeing Skeens to Kyle Freeland in the span of a day. Definitely a bit of a change there. Moving on, though, to the Royals and the Giants. Giants game just started. Royals, I think, are up in about the 8th inning. But you have Bubic, who's pitching against Ray. Both pitchers have been good this season. Bubic 4-2, 1.66 ERA. Ray is 6-0, 3.04 ERA. He's had command issues, but you know what? He survived, and the Giants win pretty much all of his starts. Giants, though, are minus 130. The Royals are plus 110. For the over-under in this game, I see 7.5. First glance, under. I think the total's a bit high. We know that it's a very pitcher-friendly environment there in San Francisco. Ray's been good, and you're looking at Bubic, who's been very good, too. Both offenses not great. At least the Giants' offense has been okay this season. Kansas City's is not. And the fact that it's in a pitcher-friendly environment does tell me this should be a pretty low-scoring game, especially with Kansas City being much better at home than on the road offensively over the course of the last couple of years. Give me the under in this game. I see a 4-2 final.
Yeah, I like the Giants here. I see minus 118s over on FanDuel, 7.5. Yeah, dead on. My total came out to 7.1. Robbie Ray has been great for the Giants this year, especially at home. He has only allowed more than 2 runs one time. And the Royals, they're no bragging offense. They're no team to ride home about. They don't score a bunch of runs, 3.4 runs per game on the road. And they struggle. They're struggling right now. They've lost 4 in a row. They might win today, but they struggle against lefties. I just don't want to back the Royals right now. It's a tough spot for them. They struggle on the road, like I mentioned, in general. And the Giants are one of the best home teams in the league right now at 15-7, excuse me. So I think this is going to be a low-scoring game, 4-2, 4-1. But I like the Giants here, and I love the under 7.5.
Yeah. Moving on to the next game on the card, you have the Angels. Don't look now, up 3-0 in the first inning. On the verge of a sweep against the Dodgers. We'll see if they actually close that out. But nice job by them jumping on Gonsolin early. But we'll see if they can once again close out the sweep. Anyway, this game, though, Angels have been pretty bad this season. But to be honest, you could argue you thought they'd be worse. A's are fine. They're 22-24. Much better on the road than at home, though. For this game, you have Soriano against Ginn. The Angels are plus 105. The A's are minus 125. And the over-under in this game is probably too low, whatever it is. The over or under is set at 10. Now, for this game, I think the wrong team's favored. I like the Angels in the spot. Soriano, I think, has been better than Ginn. There's a bigger sample with him as well. The A's are really bad at home. And the Angels, once again, might sweep the Dodgers. Like, they've actually been performing pretty well. They scored double-digit runs yesterday, and they scored 3 runs in the first inning today. I like how they're playing, and I think Soriano's better than Ginn. So give me the Angels at plus 105.
Yeah, my numbers were – I was surprised by the numbers because my numbers made the Angels the favorite here.
I thought they should be.
Yeah, I was actually – and they're big favorites. Like, minus 120, I thought that was kind of heavy, especially Athletics not playing all that well. They haven't been playing the best baseball. And granted, at the end of the season, they might be the better team, but right now the Angels are playing better baseball. But I don't know. I don't trust either side. My total came out to 10.8. So I agree. I don't think I see 10s. I see 9.5s. If you could still get a 9.5, I would take that. 2 bottom 5 bullpens in the league. And because of that, I think we've been seeing a lot of high scoring games. 8-2 towards the over in the last 10 for the Athletics. 4 of their 5 last games have gone over. And JT Ginn, he's given up. He's going to give up a few runs. He's coming off that injured list. I don't really trust him in this spot, to be honest. I don't trust either. Soriano's been okay, but I think we see a bunch of runs here. So I don't know the weather report, but I think we should see a lot of runs here in this game. So over 9.5, over 10 doesn't matter.
I still appreciate how the A's were involved in one of the lower, I'd say, run environments in the league for a long time. And they went to this random rental stadium, and every home game is like 15 runs.
It's insane.
I enjoy it. I'm not complaining. Yeah. The fans get souvenirs out of it, but I'm just saying it's pretty funny.
It makes the games more exciting, too.
It does. Yeah. I just enjoy how it's the polar opposite of the previous ballpark they had.
Now, do you think it stays when they go to that fancy one in Vegas?
Truth is, nobody knows.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to see how the final dimensions turn out, and if they change anything in the building plans, we'll see. But I'll put it this way: if another team ever had to get a rental stadium, like the Rays, for example,
Yeah.
I'm joking there because they're on the other side of the country. But you know what I'm trying to say? Like
Yeah.
if there was a rental stadium available for a new team or whatever, put them there. It's a pretty fun stadium. So there we go.
I'm like Colby. I hate domes, but it does look pretty sick, doesn't it?
You mean the Vegas one?
Yeah.
You honestly need a dome because it's 110 in the summer. You don't have a choice.
Yeah, just like Arizona. They put
Yeah, but the point is that if you don't have the sun there, you're gonna have people, fans especially, might be dying of heat stroke. Like you don't have a choice; you're gonna get sued all over the place. So you need the dome in there. You need some air conditioning.
Yeah.
So I understand why there's going to be a dome in place there in Vegas. Moving on though to the final game on the card, Diamondbacks taking on the Dodgers. Dodgers once again on the verge of getting swept here. You have Knack against Fod. Fod's been pretty good this season, 6-3, 3.73 ERA, but he was really bad in 2 of his last 3 starts. Gave up 4 runs in 4 innings against the Giants last time out. Start before that, he was very good against the Dodgers, actually. 6 1/3, no runs, but then he faced off against the Phillies before that, 4 2/3, 9 hits, and 7 runs allowed. However, I think that Knack is absolutely brutal, and I do think that he's only here because the entire Dodgers rotation died. So I do think that he's only here because of necessity. We saw Kershaw come back yesterday. He was not good either. The Dodgers have a lot of injuries to their rotation, and Knack, the last time he pitched was against the A's about 5 days ago, and he went 4 2/3, 5 runs. So he's not been very good. Made 2 outings since returning after about a month off. I mean, 1 good start, 1 bad start. But yeah, my prediction for this game is bad case of knick-knack paddywhack. Give me the Diamondbacks money line in this game. I'm gonna fade Knack. I think Knack gets destroyed. So give me Fod. You're looking at the pricing. Do I think the Dodgers should be like minus 150 in this game? No. I get they're very good at home, but I don't think that Knack's any good. I see 136 if you want to get potentially interested in the Dodgers, but I'll go with the Diamondbacks team total over in this game. It's at, I don't see a total right now, but if I had to guess, probably, I see 9.5 actually just got posted. Give me the Diamondbacks team total over. But yeah, did you enjoy my name pun on that?
Yeah, I did. I'm actually going to take the Dodgers here, minus 136, and that's exactly what I made my numbers made them, a minus 150 favorite, like you mentioned. 17-6 straight up at home this year, and I just feel like they've dominated the Snakes in their head-to-head matchups this year. They won 8-1, 14-11, 6-2. Like they're not just squeaking by and winning these games. I feel like they're dominating them. And so yes, Brandon Pfaadt, he's okay, but he's just a much different pitcher on the road than at home. At home, I think he's very backable, but on the road, I don't want to back him. And to be honest, he's backed up by a bottom 5 bullpen. So once he comes out, do you really trust that bullpen? I don't. I don't. But I agree to your point. I think 2 things could be true. I don't trust Landon Knack either. I think he's terrible. If everyone was healthy, he's not up in the majors right now. He's, like you said, he's there because of a lot of injuries that they're dealing with. I actually like the over as well. My total came out to 10.2, 9.5. I think we see runs in this game. Both pitchers are bad. But minus 136, I just can't get away from that price right now. So I like Dodgers, but I also like over.
Yeah, I once again think the Diamondbacks team total over is a good way to potentially avoid Ohtani destroying your hopes and dreams, but at the same point, capitalizing on a bad starting pitcher. So I'd go with the team total for that one. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for all the games on the card for Monday. Now it's time for the Lock and Dog picks. For that, the reminder, they're brought to you by Rhythm because they're the home of AI bet picks and props available for the NBA playoffs, the golf tour. You can also look at baseball. They also just launched WNBA. So you want their thoughts on props and for models for sides and totals. You could use that too on Rhythm. You can also try it for free for a week by using their 7-day free trial. Sign up though with the amazing deals they have going on right now. 25% off the monthly subscription with promo code SGPN25, 50% off the annual subscription with promo code SGPN50. Once again, there's Rhythm, promo code SGPN25 or SGPN50, and sign up for the 7-day free trial by going to sportsgamble.com/RITHMM. We're also brought to you by Circle Ultimate Fantasy Ball Giveaway because Circle Resort and Casino in Las Vegas is giving away the ultimate fantasy ball experience for a 12-person league, the draft in Vegas, and be treated like VIPs for the stay. The winner will be receiving a 2-night stay at Circle Resort for the entire 12-person league. You can hold your draft at Cabana Stadium Swim with a $5,000 food and beverage credit, limited transportation to and from the airport, and a welcome party at Legacy Club for the league, and much more. Contest is from May 5th to June 30th. Sign up at sportsgamble.com/circa, sportsgamble.com/CIRCA. We're also brought to you by MyBookie, because MyBookie.ag's placement in every sport. They have the NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs. They have, if you want to throw in baseball, you can throw in UFC, tennis, you name it. They have props in every game as well. Also available at a ton of locations. Use crypto for different payouts. Easy deposit. When you head to MyBookie for your new account, use the promo code SGPN to get a special, once again, 100% off, 100% off the match up to 1K. Terms and conditions apply. MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through every game on the Monday card. Time to move on into the lock and dog picks. Dylan, I'll let you go first. What's going to be your lock and dog for the show?
By the way, I was listening to the WNBA podcast with you and Terrell. You are hilarious. You're like, I wish I had $5,000.
Yeah, that's a lot of food.
I was just imagining you in your Madison days, you hammering. I was trying to remember what drink you liked the most that we were talking about in our.
The problem is in college, you didn't really get to choose. It was kind of just, all right, you're going to get a keg.
Yeah.
And you're going to help finish the keg. And then after that, maybe we'll go to some bars.
We were so poor in college, or at least I was, speaking for myself, that I had like Busch Light. It was terrible, but
we called it Busch Latte in college to make it fancier. That's what we called it, yeah. And it's not Busch Light, by the way. It's Busch Light, like the commercial. But yeah, that was one of the beers we had. That was when we felt fancy. We wanted to go for that.
I love it.
Red Dog was definitely the cheaper beer option, which is kind of like Keystone. Kind of like the same crappy quality.
It's terrible, though. Keystone,
but it's so cheap, though.
Yeah.
It's so cheap.
You buy a 30 pack.
You get so much bang for your buck.
Yeah, you get a 30 pack for like $17, $18. It's insane.
So good. I'd say Keystone, the unofficial underage drinking beer.
What? So. I mean, if you had, because Terrell was saying he'll have a 1942, and that might be a quarter of the tab. But if you had $5,000, what's your first choice of drink?
That's a good one. I'm gonna be there for a couple hours.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll go bolder with it. Give me a frozen margarita.
Ooh.
I'll start with the frozen drinks. It's in Vegas. It's gonna be summertime. I got to start off getting hydrated, at least temperature-wise, so I can handle the endurance of being in the sun for 5 hours.
You gotta pace yourself.
The point is, though, besides pacing, I got to cool down the core. So I got to have the cold drinks first and then work my way from there. So either a frozen, maybe margarita, maybe a daiquiri to start. But, of course, I'll probably be mixing and matching, which will be very dangerous for me.
Dangerous game.
But I got to start off with the frozen drinks because it's going to be hot in the sun there. What about you? What would you do? I thought it through, though. You got to focus on the heat. People forget about the heat.
You made a good point with the frozen drinks, and now I'm reconsidering. But my first drink of choice always is a Jack and Coke.
Okay.
Always. I'm a big Jack and Coke guy. There used to be a thing in my college at Towson, and it was like beat the clock on Thursday, and we would get like these little cups at like 8 o'clock, and they were 25 cents. But it was dangerous because in each half hour it would go up. So it'd be 25 cents to 50. And then after an hour, it would go up to regular price. But we would go and order 25 rum and Cokes, and we'd be plastered in like an hour and a half. And I had 8 a.m.s on Friday. I don't know about you. That's a terrible fucking decision by me.
I mean, it's a terrible decision, but you got a story out of it.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about hindsight, you know?
Yeah.
You never in college like made a bad decision knowing it was bad because you knew you'd have a good story to tell.
Too many times.
Of course.
Too many
you don't have to apologize for it. It's fine. It's not a bad decision. You made a choice. You'd rather have the story than the quiet night in.
I would say I don't think in hindsight, obviously 2020, I don't think I'd be making those decisions now at my age.
I think I regret not making enough bad decisions.
Wow.
No, it was kind of a balance for me. I've mentioned this before. I've never blacked out before. Not for lack of trying.
Well, that's good.
Not for lack of trying. I've tried my best. I just can't do it.
I have.
Some people just can't black out, and my mind just never turns off that way.
Thank God my girlfriend and my parents don't listen to the podcast because I have.
I'm sure most people have, but I've done 20 shots in a day, never passed.
Really?
I never blacked out. No, I've had some really, really like
not even where it's like a little foggy and you like go home and like I can't remember like who I was with.
Oh no, like I'm having conversations 20 shots in with like a group of people and I'm hearing the music in the background like from a distance and I recognize the songs in like 3 seconds. Like I don't know, my mind just won't turn off. I'm just the same guy when I'm drinking. So yeah, I was the 20 shots in babysitter. That was my role in college for a bit.
Were you in a frat?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah,
so I was head of the drinking committee. Fun fact.
Wow.
So,
Hell yeah.
That was a position that I earned.
That's an honor.
It was.
That's an honor.
It definitely was. But anyway, you got a lock and a dog?
Yeah. Let's go to lock and dog. For my dog, I am going to take the Astros at plus money here. I can't take the Rays. I really don't trust them right now. I'm not a Ryan Pepiot fan, and I think the Astros are just playing much better baseball. And I trust the bullpen, even depending how long Colton Gordon goes for 4 or 5 innings. I still think they'll be too inconsistent for me. I trust Astros a little more. So plus 110, I'll take the Astros here. For my lock, I'm going to go under. I'll go under 9 at even money with the Mets and the Red Sox. Like I said, it's going to be a cold, rainy night. We got winds blowing in, around 13-mile-an-hour winds in Boston. And Kodai Senga has been really good. Hunter Dobbins, I don't think he's the best, but at home, he's been pretty good. He hasn't allowed more than 2 runs at home just one time, and the game finished 4-3. So I think we see a low-scoring game. Mets offense going to be a little lackluster traveling from Sunday Night Baseball. Not a far travel, but regardless, under 9, I think, is a little too high. My total came out to 8.6. So, yeah, I'll take the under 9 at even money.
Yeah, so for my lock, this team just can't pitch, even though they've been, of course, phenomenal offensively. The Dodgers can't pitch, but I did see a team total for Arizona at 4.5 at even money. Am I allowed to use that as my dog, or is that like the definition of cheating?
No, you got it.
Okay. So for my lock, I'll let you do the dog first, because I'm not going to steal your entire mojo here.
Yeah.
So I will go with the Brewers. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel here. They won a game. The problem is the Brewers get shut out a lot, but at least they can pitch at home.
Yeah.
I don't know what the Orioles are doing. Like, if you're going to scapegoat the manager, that's fine. But don't have Kyle Gibson pitch the game after you fire the manager to give up 6 runs in the first inning. That's just probably not what you should be doing. They got swept. They got killed in the last 2 games against Washington. They can't hit. They can't pitch. I don't know who their manager is at this point. They're bad at everything. So give me the Brewers money line. Priester's not great, but at least the Brewers are decent at home. So I'll take them there for the lock. For the dog, thought about the Angels because I do like the price there, but I think that the fading of Knack is the better option for me. Give me the Diamondbacks team total over 4.5 at even money. I think Knack will struggle. You get 9 at-bats as the road team. You might see a crazy high-scoring game. We saw a couple of those in Arizona a couple weeks ago. Give me the Diamondbacks team total over 4.5 as my dog at even money. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for the show. Dylan, anything else you want to add?
No, I see that the Thunder opened up a huge lead at half. I guess my one question to you, why is the Eastern Conference semis on Wednesday and Westerns on Tuesday?
I asked the same question on the NBA show yesterday. So
okay.
There you go.
Yeah,
well, it looks a little bit different, though, because you have to remember when Game 7 of the Eastern Conference semifinals would have been had the Knicks series actually got pushed.
It would have been tomorrow.
Correct. So the point is they base it based on the projected 7-game series that was supposed to happen. It just looks weird because one series won 7 and the Knicks won in 5.
Yeah.
So that's why, or 6, I mean. So it looks a little bit weirder because the Knicks ended the series earlier than the Western Conference series. But
that makes sense.
Either way, though, did you join the riots in the city?
No, I'm still wondering how that fucking guy got on that bulletin board in sandals.
The sandals is really the thing that throws you for a loop there.
What? He's nuts.
You don't know how he climbed that. But yeah.
He's nuts.
Is that a lifelong dream of yours to make it into a Side Talk video?
Oh, yes, he got to. The Side Talk people, I saw them one time doing an interview, and I wish they went up to me, but one day. But the videos are crazy, Side Talk. 8 more wins, Scotty. I hope we could do it.
Yeah, 8 more wins. I like how some people were roasting the Knicks for celebrating a spot in the conference finals. You don't understand what the Knicks fans have been through
25 years.
For 25 years. Even besides that, with Dolan as your owner, just a lot of crap going on. I'm a Nets fan, so like my team hasn't done that since like 2003, I believe. They almost did, and then Durant and Kyrie died. But, I mean, Durant lived. It was Harden and Kyrie who died. But still, point is, New York sports has had a rough go of it recently. Besides the Giants winning a couple, those are also Jersey teams technically.
Yeah.
The Yankees won in 2009. That's really it. In terms of the actual state of New York, you have the Yankees.
That's it.
And besides the Yankees, I have to think of the last title a New York team's actually won besides the Yankees. I don't mean
Liberty.
New York Giants. I'm saying, but I'm saying like out of the main sports, no offense to Liberty.
No offense.
It's got to be the Rangers, right, in 94? Because the Knicks made it in 99, they
you
lost.
said outside of 09.
Outside of 09, outside of the Yankees, ignoring the Yankees.
You said the Rangers. Wow.
The Rangers are like 94.
Yeah, because Jersey is 2003.
Jersey's in Jersey. They did win a couple, but they were in Jersey.
Yeah.
Giants are in Jersey, technically.
It'd have to be the Rangers in 94.
That's what I'm saying. New York sports has not had a good go of it recently. I know New York fans basically have the Giants and the Jets, but based on location, technically a New York-born team has not won a title besides the Yankees since 94.
And the Mets made it in 2015, but they got destroyed by the Royals, so...
shout out to Jared Familia. Anyway, also shout out to Daniel Murphy, who had the hell of a run.
And Cespedes.
Cespedes, too, yeah.
That was a hell of a team.
It was. It was a very good team. I mean, Murphy went crazy that entire playoff run. And then he had the error, and people hold that against him. But you wouldn't have been there if Murphy didn't go God mode for like a month.
Whatever happened to Matt Harvey? Batman, remember?
I don't know if you want to know what happened to Matt Harvey.
No, I'm serious. Like, what happened? Did he go crazy?
He was really bad in the league for a couple years. He was on the Angels team. And I thought he was linked to giving Skaggs the drugs that killed him. I think.
What?
Wasn't Harvey linked to that? I want to say Matt Harvey was linked to that.
No, don't tell me that. I really
You asked.
Not. No, I know, but I really hope that's not accurate.
Harvey testified that he provided Skaggs with drugs while the two were teammates. So there you go. I don't know if it was the official drugs that killed him, but he definitely had something to do with Skaggs' drug problem that resulted down the stretch. But you asked. I didn't want to talk about it, but yeah, Harvey provided drugs for a guy that eventually did die from drugs. So there we go. That's what happened to Matt Harvey. To end the show on a down note.
Wow.
There. But yeah, you asked. I had to answer the question. That's what happened.
I regret it. I gotta go watch SpongeBob.
All right, enjoy the SpongeBob. Anyway, we're back once again tomorrow for the MLB show. We also have the prop show on the MLB podcast on Monday morning with Adam and I. Till next time, find me on Twitter, Reichel Radio. Find him on Twitter at Rock with 2Ks24. Till next time, good luck to all.